No matter what you do, whether it's work, play, or living healthy, life requires fuel. At Health Empowers You, we focus on quality to help give you the most fuel for your life. So let us help you get empowered. Stop by healthempowersyou.net today.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spirituality and Success with Reverend Dr. Tracy Cox, brought to you by the Health Empowers You Network. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Tracy Cox. Today, I'm taking questions about spiritual wellness. And if you'd like to submit an anonymous question in the future, please go to my website and use the contact form. So, I thought that I would do something a little bit different with the podcast. I thought that I would ask people to submit spiritual wellness questions just because I've had a lot of guests on recently, and I thought it would be nice to get you, the viewer, as a guest and see what's interesting to you and what you'd like to know about. So I chose a really timely letter, and I'll read it to you, and you'll understand why it's timely. Dear Reverend Dr. Tracy, I'm a 45-year-old woman based in Michigan. Me and my friends have always considered ourselves crunchy granola moms, and I'm a crunchy granola mom too. Interested in meditation, yoga, crystals, and alternative health practices. We have a great circle of friends and are always trying to keep our vibe high. Well, me too. And that's great because that's what you should do for spiritual wellness. Keep that vibe high. My question to you is about the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday next week. I have a large extended family, and some members are very aggressive about their beliefs. They can be really opinionated about who they think everyone should vote for and are pretty vicious if anyone disagrees with them. I am more of a peace and love flower child, and I am too. Peace and love. That's what I like. I try not to choose sides and just change the subject. I want everyone to get along. Recently, things have escalated with one or two of my family members. They seem to be actively recruiting people to join them in hating various public figures, almost harassing people until they agree with their hatred for these people. I think it's completely unhinged. I think it's completely unhinged too, I have to tell you, but we are seeing more and more of it these days. I'm dreading Thanksgiving with them. I don't want to hate anyone. It's just not in my nature to pick sides and to be so extreme. I want everyone to get along for the holidays. Do you have any suggestions for how I can deal with this situation? I know it's a pretty common one these days. Yes, it is, but it's really making me sad and anxious. Sincerely, Stressed in Michigan. Okay. So I have a lot to say about this actually. Stressed in Michigan, and I understand where you're coming from. Uh, I have had so many clients in my spiritual wellness coaching programs telling me the same thing. They're finding that there's so much division in the world and even within their families where people are being very aggressive about their beliefs and basically telling the other members of the family, if you don't believe this, you're an idiot, basically, is what it boils down to. They won't tolerate anything other than the same views as themselves. Now, this is a really hard thing to deal with if you're somebody that's used to being open-minded, letting people have their opinions, not trying to force your opinion down other people's throats. Now, these are all things that are great. They give you great amounts of stress. Trying to inflict your views on others is very, very hard on the body. And hating people and trying to recruit and hate, it's really awful because what happens is that consistent negative thinking is very hard on the system. There's actually been a lot of studies that have just come out that people that persistently think negatively have a much higher incidence of dementia and Alzheimer's. So that's something to think about because the repetitive things that you think about begin to manifest in your life. And if you're somebody like Stressed in Michigan who is, used to being around a group of positive individuals that try to keep the vibe high, work towards positive things in their life, then going to a family function like this where people are asking them to actively hate others, call people stupid, you know, all that kind of stress and tension. That's just not in your nature. That's not something that you want to be around, right? The people that we hang around either lift us higher or bring us down. And in this case, they're bringing you down. So what I have found for my clients, and with this is all free will. So you do what you feel is correct for yourself. But what I have seen with my clients that works very well is to actually just be honest and tell your family members beforehand, hey, let's use this Thanksgiving to really give thanks, and giving thanks in a way that is let's not let's not talk about politics. Let's not talk about things that we hate. Let's only talk about things that are uplifting and that we want to build together, prosperity, health, wealth, happiness, all the good things in life. That's what we want to talk about on Thanksgiving. Giving thanks is a positive thing, and we don't want to have any negativity. And they should say, okay, if you have a loving family that wants to pull together, that should be no problem whatsoever. All right. And I know that what happens sometimes, and I've seen it with my clients, is that people will agree to that. And then you get there and they've had a couple glasses of wine. And next thing you know, don't you think whoever's an idiot, or, the negativity comes out. And so what I teach all my clients, no matter, what we're dealing with, is a small exercise called the power of 3 deep breaths. So whenever something stressful happens, what I ask people to do is stop, do not react, and take 3 deep breaths. So you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you're going to do that 3 times. And the reason that you want to do that is because when we are stressed, we are reacting from the reptilian brain. And the reptilian brain, that part of our brain, is the fight or flight aspect of us. And we don't want to be in fight or flight when we're at a gathering, right? It's not what we want. So if you do this, what will happen is it will slow you down from reacting, and it'll take your thinking from the reptilian brain, the fight or flight, up until the front of your brain. And that's the executive function part of your brain. And then you can consider your words and how you're going to react to this in a positive fashion. So you can diffuse it. You can say, listen, I don't pick sides. I'm not interested in picking sides. I just want everybody to have a nice Thanksgiving. Something positive. The 3 deep breaths will let you tap into that aspect of yourself, the executive function where you can think on your feet and course correct and get the gathering back onto a positive footing. So that is my first piece of advice that I give to my clients is do that. But be honest, the fact that you would like everyone to get along and not talk about these unpleasant things where everybody starts to fight. Now, if they can't do that and you're finding that you're taking many 3 deep breaths and that they just won't change, then you have some decisions to make. And perhaps next year for Thanksgiving, you get together with your friends, get together with your crunchy granola moms and their families, and you talk about the things that you would like to focus on, because Thanksgiving is for giving thanks for everything in our lives. And perhaps, next year you're going to look at the positive aspects with other people and just take a pass on the family Thanksgiving. Now, you may have people angry at you. And once again, you're going to have to take 3 deep breaths and find your words and be honest and explain to them that as a person that values peace over everything, you just find that too hard on you, and you need the peace and the stressless Thanksgiving for your own health. A lot of the time, if you just put it on your health, I'm stressed, my cortisol levels are high, I want to get my blood pressure down, whatever. If you put it on your health, you will find that people will be more open to it. But if they won't be, then just, send them a Thanksgiving card and send them your love, and plan something else with your friends so that you can have something to look forward to and grow your tribe that are of like mind. Be around people of like mind, and you will find that your life will be so much more relaxing, and you won't be having to write me a letter like this next year. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, stressed in Michigan. And I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving next week. Hopefully that will all work out for you. But as I said, you can course correct and next year get together with different people and enjoy your life. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope that gives you a little taste of what we do as spiritual coaches. Please send us or please send me a question, and I'll get to it in my next podcast. So have a fantastic day. Thank you very much for joining me.